Solve the problem. The function h, described by h of t equals negative 16t squared plus 33.1t plus 124.26, gives the height of a ball thrown upward with a speed of 33.1 feet per second from a 124.26 foot high window t seconds after it is thrown until it hits the ground. Find the height of the ball 1.9 seconds after it is thrown. Well, this kind of suggests that story problems are not always easy to understand. People see these kind of story problems and just like, I don't know what's going on, how do I use all the information? Now, commonly, when they provide you with a function, really, they'll perhaps explain what this function means. How did it come about? For example, the 33.1 feet per second, well, that's in there. Okay, and the 124.26 feet high, okay, that's in there. And t is seconds after it is thrown, okay. Where's the negative 16? They don't talk about that. That actually happens to be 1/2 of gravity. But all of this is really irrelevant. What we need to understand is what does h represent and what does t represent? Because those are the only variables in this function. Well, h is the height. And it doesn't actually say the height in feet, but everything else is in feet, so we assume the height is in feet as well. And then the t is seconds, seconds after it is thrown. So as a function, you have an input, the t, that's what's inside the function notation, so that would be what you plug in, and then the output is the height. And here they say find the height, so find h, of the ball 1.9 seconds after it is thrown. That's the value for t. So they're really asking for h of 1.9. Okay, well, to evaluate a function, what I like to do is place parentheses instead of the t. So that would look like this. So I basically have gone through and put a little parenthesis around the t and erase the t. Everything else is exactly in order. Now we want to evaluate at 1.9. We just plug that 1.9 into these blanks, and now we go to our calculator to work this out. This first term works out to be negative 57.76. The second term multiplies out to be 62.89, and the third term is simplified. Now when we add all of these terms together, we get 129.39, and the height, everything is in feet, this is feet. And that would be the story answer to this story problem. So although some of these story problems look really difficult and they explain all sorts of things, it's essentially just an input and an output. And you have to figure out, did they give you the input like they did here? Plug it in, get the output. Did they give you the output? Some problems will say, how long until this projectile hits the ground, and then you plug in 0 for h. That's beyond the scope at this point in time of this class, so I'm glad they didn't ask that. Given an input, find an output is all this story problem ended up being. I hope this helps.